Tiger Sports Talk, sponsored by Trice Hughes Chevrolet with Gator and DT. We're live here in the studio at 103.3 FM, The Tiger. D, we're 3 days away from the big event.
Yeah.
But we're less than that for the big event tonight.
Big event tonight. First game of the year.
It's
They've been waiting for this for a whole year.
They have, and it's the opening night of the high school football season here in the state of Kentucky. We saw the Caldwell County Tigers enter scrimmage last Friday night against the Butler County Bears, and they looked pretty good for the first time out.
I thought we looked real well. We had a lot of players, some of them in different positions, playing. A lot of them going both ways, and it looked, they looked like they knew halfway what they were doing. I think Coach Barnes has turned some of it over to all our other coaches, and that's why they're doing a lot better.
I think so too. They look well prepared. No, Coach Barnes does a terrific job. We know he's here with us in the studio, as well as another very special guest we'll get to here in a minute. But I thought for the first time out, Joby Jaggers had a good night throwing the football.
Joby did a good job. He's got some quick feet. I think he'll be able to move in and out of the pocket a little bit this year, and I think those kind of moves will help him as far as throwing the football. But in this offense, I've said this all along, if you don't have to throw the ball downfield that long, you can complete a lot of passes. And, of course, if we get a hold of Christian tonight, they have some pretty quick deep backs, and they might be up in our nose a little bit, so I don't know how much easier it's going to be.
I'm sure Coach Lovelace has probably looked at that, but we've got some outstanding speed and quickness out there in the two Riley boys.
Sure do.
Oliver Parker, and we got a really good core of receivers returning this season, and I look for us to do big things.
Right. Casey Newsom, I looked through all those kids out there. He's got an array of kids he can throw the ball to.
Right.
I saw in the paper, the last time after on the stats. I didn't keep up with them when we were out there, but they had a lot of different people that caught 5, 6, 7 passes apiece.
Right. I believe it's Travis Newsom.
Casey's
son.
Casey's son.
I'm back
sorry.
to the ones that we had in school, and of course we have a lot of our former players that's got kids out there now, and we still relate to them as they were in school. Last night was a big night for our middle school football team. They opened up their part of the season this year in 7th and 8th grade, and they went over to Hopkinsville, I believe, and defeated a very good Hopkinsville 8th grade team by the score of 26-12. I got a text late last night from Brad Harrelson, and he told me it was one of the most physical teams that he's ever coached since he's been out there helping the middle school, and it looks like the program is on the rise with these 8th graders coming up. The 7th grade game, I believe, was canceled because of having storms over there in Hopkinsville. But they're off to a good start so far. They're 2-0 on the season, and I know they're excited about their seasons this season. So, we want to wish them the best of luck. And we'll have Coach Kukihiko and Harrelson and some of the other coaches on here in the next coming weeks.
We've been pretty lucky. You and I, we used to have to fight to get some kids to come out and play for us, and now they have 30 and 40 in the middle school coming out and just keep coming out.
They do, and the numbers look good. And, last Friday night, I think, what did we count, over 50, 55, I guess,
right,
that we had dressed out. And it's always good to see that our numbers have not decreased, especially in this area, because a lot of schools' numbers are decreasing in football, and we're holding our own here, and I know these kids, this community here is very excited about tonight, and we want a big crowd to come out to Tiger Stadium at 7 p.m. for kickoff against the number 2 ranked Christian County Colonels in Class 5A.
Not only are we having numbers staying up or building up, the kids are athletes. They can play. It means a lot. And you know what? We can sit here and pat ourselves on the back, maybe because all the kids that are coaching these young kids are ones we had.
Yeah, that can be very rewarding.
No, I was just joking there. But all these kids that do coach Little League, we had, and we're very proud to see them out there working with these youth and keeping things going.
Well, I tell you, it's exciting to see, and of course, This time of the year is very special, especially in this community here, being a tradition-rich football community, and I know our fans will turn out in big numbers tonight and each and every Friday night. I know we have 5 home games throughout the season. The first 2 weeks we're at home before we go on the road, and we've got, of course, got to get through tonight's game against Christian County, but we welcome Graves County in next week before we hit the road, and then there's only 3 home games after that. So, Tiger fans, you need to come out early in the season to support these Tigers.
Yep, be out here tonight and have at it.
We're going to take a short break here and then hear from our sponsor, and then when we come back, we're going to visit with Miss Emma Talley. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
What does your service appointment at Trice Hughes do? Glad you asked. Here at Trice Hughes, we give a true 27-point inspection with each vehicle service. We change your oil, check fluids in your transmission, coolant system, power steering, washing fluid, and brakes. Then we inspect your tires, wiper blades, brakes, air filter, belts, hoses, drive boots, and exhaust system. Shoo, that's a lot. Keeping your vehicle maintained at Trice Hughes in Princeton is your best chance of a long and happy vehicle life. Call today for your appointment, 270-365-5522, Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. You've heard about OnStar, but have you heard about the new Remote Link app available for your smartphone? Now on most all GM vehicles that are equipped with OnStar, you can lock and unlock your vehicle from your phone. You can start your vehicle remotely from anywhere, and you can check diagnostics while browsing your phone. So let's get this straight. You can be out of town, but your vehicle is at home, and your daughter needs her ball bat in the back seat, and you have the keys in your purse. Panic? No way. Just unlock your vehicle from your phone and voila, happy teenager. Stop by Trice Hughes in Princeton for info and setup.
Back here at Tiger Sports Talk, sponsored by Trice Hughes Chevrolet with Gator and DT. We're live here in the studio at 103.3 FM, The Tiger. We have with us in studio this morning, very honored once again, no one unfamiliar to our show, Dee, Miss Emma Talley.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you. Anytime you're here, we're excited to have you. Emma, I know you're in this week and probably going to be in for the better part of next week, getting ready for the final stretch of your Symetra tour. You've brought a friend with you that, we'd like to introduce, and several people here in Princeton may know. Tell us a little bit about your friend.
Well, all right. Patrick.
I wanted Patrick to talk.
He's from New Zealand.
Well, you should ask him, not her.
And he caddies out on the LPGA for a really good player. She actually had a chance to get in the Solheim Cup this week, but missed out on a couple of spots. So she's a really good player. And then they have a bunch of tournaments left. They go to Canada and then a couple more tournaments before they go to Asia. So he's really busy, but he's from New Zealand, and the whole town will meet him tonight at the football game.
we tried to get him to say something, but he said they wouldn't understand me. And I said, well, they'd understand you as much as they do all our country hicks around here, so they don't understand us either.
That's right.
When you brought him down the other night, I told my wife, I said, I can understand him a lot better than I can you. When she starts trying to tell me things, and of course she speaks in tongues.
Selective.
Oh, yeah, selective hearing. Emma, we know that, you're currently right now you're 6th on the money list on the Symetra Tour. You're fixing to head into your final stretch. Your goal, I know, is to get inside that top 10. And tell us a little bit about what tournaments you have left and what lies ahead for you.
Well, the tour has 6 more tournaments left, and I'm only going to play 5 of them. I'm going to go 2 weeks, a week off, and then 3 weeks. And the only reason I did that is just because it's hard to play 6 weeks in a row out there. I did it earlier in the season, played well the first 3, but then kind of played poorly the last 3. So I'm going to take 1 off because the last tournament, obviously, the Tour Championship is the biggest one of the year. So hopefully I had a last week off completely, didn't touch a golf club, which was really nice. And then this week I started practicing. We've been practicing pretty hard the last couple of days, and I'll practice hard the next week and hopefully be ready for it.
You will be. You be ready.
Your next tournament, I believe, is in 2 weeks. It's in South Dakota, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the biggest on the money-wise on the tour.
Yeah, it's a big tournament, but I'm trying not to think about it, honestly. You just got to keep playing. I haven't been playing well the last few weeks, so, yeah, if I could get my game back where I want it, I'll be good to go. So that's what I'm working on, working Paducah a little bit, working with my dad a little bit, and get it back to normal.
Is the last tournament, we don't want to skip too far away already, but where is it now in Florida? What part of Florida?
Daytona
I
Beach.
thought Wes said he
Yeah.
was going to go to that one. I knew it had to be pretty close, but I
Yeah,
didn't know
it's
how.
down in Daytona. The last two are in Florida, so hot weather and
not the course.
hopefully be celebrating.
Is that course close to where you and I went to practice that one day?
Yeah, it is
I
close.
thought I
yeah,
saw
it's like
that. We saw
45
the
minutes.
sign.
Yeah, it's pretty close to down there.
Well, Emmett, we know that, you got a lot of work ahead of you, and you've been working real hard, and we're very proud of you here in Princeton. And several weeks back, you did play in a tournament that was fairly close to here in French Lick. And I know a lot of people from Princeton and the surrounding counties came to watch you. How did that make you feel?
Oh, it was incredible. I'm super lucky to have a community behind me like y'all. And one day I counted there were over 50 people there. So it's pretty incredible how many people came out every day. I think there were different people each day. So it was really cool. And all the girls on tour kept saying, "Who is that over there?" And then they realized it was me and thought, "That's our small town over there." So y'all were famous for sure that week, and I definitely appreciated it.
That was that girl that was looking over at you when she said, "Who is that? He's a honk."
Yeah, right. That wasn't looking at me. I didn't make
Yeah,
that trip.
yeah.
You went, D. What was your impression?
No, they were looking at Ray Heaton. That's what they
Oh,
were looking
yeah.
at.
Yeah. You got to view the tournament. Tell us your impressions of it.
It was a great event. They had that thing set up nice. I mean, it was really, I thought, they had buses to take people here and there. And, of course, the girls had to practice at a different area. And
Which
then
was weird.
ship all the way back up. I wanted to watch them hit practice balls, and we came by in the bus, and there they were hitting balls, and they took us all the way up. So we got to watch them putt a little bit because the green was there. But it was a nice course. I tell you what, I sure hate to walk that course every day. I don't know
Yeah,
how
it
to-
was funny watching everybody from Princeton walk it. It was probably the hardest golf course I've ever walked, and
I mean, every shot
Everybody
was,
was
a lot of them
huffing
were
and
blind. You know, you had a blind shot, but the greens were almost about 50 feet in the air. I mean, from the fairway, you had to walk.
yeah, it was. It
So
was
we'd
a hilly
stand up on
course.
the old me and Ray. We stood up on the other side and looked. We watched. Did she make that putt? I don't know. I can't see. But anyway, it was a night. It's not. And the other course, we didn't get to go see it, but they said it was even
better.
worse as far as
Oh, hit the
walking
hills,
and
yeah.
carrying on.
Yep.
Well, Emma, we know this week the LPGA is involved with the Solheim Cup. And I know every player on the LPGA, that is their goal to get on the American team. And I believe there's a first-year player this time on the Solheim Cup that was on the Symetra Tour last year.
Oh yeah, there is. She's on the European team, but there's a couple young girls out there this year, and there were last year too. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see that. You set your goals high, and hopefully I'll be there sooner than later.
Hope so. I'll
And,
tell you.
and you got to play several years ago in was it the Junior Solheim Cup?
Yeah, it was really cool. I've gotten to play the Junior Solheim Cup and the Junior Ryder Cup, and it was cool because both of them were in Europe. So that was really cool, and it's a cool experience to play for your country. I mean, they don't say Immortale from Princeton, Kentucky. They say Immortale from the United States of America, which is pretty cool. So really cool experience, and hopefully I get to experience it in the future.
Well, tell us a little bit about last weekend. One of your good buddies won the PGA Championship, and he's a Kentuckian. And I believe that didn't he travel with you over to one of
Yeah.
those? And how exciting was that?
Oh, it's super cool. It's so weird to see all those young guys be so successful whenever I played my whole junior career with them. So, and Justin and I are still friends. He went to Alabama, from Kentucky. He's a great guy, and it was really cool to see him win.
I remember when you were at our place last March, he was playing in L.A. or somewhere, and he had some silly shot, and you texted him and said, "Why did you do that?" or something. He texted you back and said, "I don't know."
Yeah, he's a good guy. He always gets back to my texts, even though I'm sure he has. Who knows how many texts he gets, but Yeah, he's a good guy.
Now, he's a player, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is.
I don't see how, what is he, 150 pounds?
They said maybe soaking wet, he was 150 on TV.
Hit the ball out,
Sunday.
he swings at it and lets her go.
He's 150 pounds and an inch taller than me, and he hits it. He's one of the furthest on tour, which is incredible.
Oh,
I tell you,
amazing.
It's incredible for someone his age. What is he,
24.
24 years old and already won a major. And, of course, Jordan Spieth is a big friend of his and a real close friend, as well as Ricky Fowler. And they were all there meeting him as he came off the green to win that PGA championship. And I know we're very proud. Anyone in Kentucky, state of Kentucky's got to be proud to see a Kentuckian win a PGA championship.
Yeah, it was super cool. Hopefully we'll see more of it.
No, you know about yourself too, though. The thing about it, you can practice all you want to, but the real key to all of it is experience, and that's what you're getting. You know, when you go play in these tournaments, different places, and don't know anybody, and it's hard to get around and do it. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I know everyone here at DT and myself, we've got it on our phone, the symmetrictour.com. We check the leaderboard out every Thursday, Friday, whatever day you're playing on to see where OM is standing, and we're very proud of you, and you've represented Princeton and Caldwell County as well as the state of Kentucky well, and we really look forward to seeing you get on that women's LPGA, and I know that's a goal of yours, and we just hope that, you know, that things fall in place. You know how it is, that, you know, you got to have some breaks, and, you know, you've got some opportunities ahead of you, and I know you're going to play your heart out, and everyone here is sure rooting hard for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully we'll be talking next time. I'll have my card in my
That's exactly
under my
right. I
belt.
want to see it. I want to take a picture of it and tell your daddy I'm not going to look at the sun either if that's what he said.
And my final question was going to be, what does your dad think about him being an optometrist here in Preston, and these glasses that are being distributed around about looking at the eclipse? What is his view on this?
I don't know. I mean, he's been given some glasses, and I don't know what he's going to do yet, but I'm not looking at it. I know that much.
Well, I know you're going to be here for it, and I guess they say, the last one we had was 48 years ago, and
She wouldn't know that.
no, I can't even remember it. I was 12 years old at the time, I guess, and you were, what, around 17? And
I wouldn't know that either. If at 17, I wasn't looking for the eclipse.
well, it's a big ordeal, or it sure has been. I don't remember it being that big when I was 12 years old, but it really is something exciting, and a lot of people are going to be visiting our area, and we're glad that you're here at home, Emma, and we're glad that you brought your caddy buddy with you, Patrick Smith, and from New Zealand, and you know, we just wish you the best of luck, and I think Coach Barnes has a question he might want to ask you.
I
or
want Emma
remark.
she's coming to the game tonight to present something to our school, which is an AED, which will go out to our athletic fields. So I just want to let Emma speak on that a little bit, let everybody know what she's doing tonight when she does make that presentation.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to play in a Pro-Am this summer, the Lord Wedgwood charity event, and they had celebrities, which I don't know how I was one of the celebrities, but I was one of the celebrities, and they gave all of us an AED defibrillator to give out anywhere we wanted to go. And so I gave mine out to the school, and they actually want to continue to give them out. So if y'all know of a school that doesn't have one, they want to keep giving defibrillators out. I just found out a couple days ago, a friend of a friend, he died at the gym, and they brought him back with an AED defibrillator. So you never know when it's going to work, and it was definitely my honor to give it to the school.
Well, that's great.
I'm assuming our fitness center has a defibrillator. I don't know here at Trover Clinic.
I'm sure they do.
And, you know, those things do. I remember years ago when I was the AD, we purchased a defibrillator.
We've got 6 now, I think, that have been donated to us to different people.
We only had one at the time, and it was, I think it was located in the high school office in the vault back there. And you
That'd
know,
been easy to get to.
Yeah. If the vault was open, it would have been. But anyway, those things come in handy, we know. And, of course, you never know when a person in need may suffer a heart attack and save somebody's life.
Yes, for sure.
Coach, you got anything else you'd like to ask Emma before we get to the second portion of our show?
I'm still his hero. I'm still the background of his phone.
Still on my phone, and she is my hero. And we've been fortunate to have a lot of good kids come out. Emma being one of them. Went on to the University of Alabama, represented us really well, and we're just really, really proud to know that she's a Caldwell County Tiger.
That's exactly
Thank you,
right.
Coach Barnes.
Very proud of Emma. Thank you, Emma,
Thank
once
y'all.
again.
Thank you for
coming
taking the
in.
Go
time.
Tigers.
You could have spent another 2 hours in the bed, so you came up. I
Thank you for
appreciate that.
getting
It
up
means
this
a lot.
early, and you too, Pat.
That means a lot.
Appreciate y'all coming in.
Thank
We're going to
you.
take a short break. Our next guest has just entered the studio. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
Trice Hughes in Princeton wants to remind everyone that we have a full line of genuine GM and Mopar parts and accessories for your car, truck, or SUV. We also offer Retrax bed covers. You have to see to believe how awesome they are. WeatherTech floor mats are a must for folks with little people and moms and dads that want to keep their entire carpet protected. Make your truck or SUV stand out with chrome accessories such as 20-inch wheels and tires, running boards, mirror covers, and door handles. Need a gift idea? Adding remote start will surely please your loved one. Call Shauna today for all your accessory needs. 270-365-5522. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. Let's talk OnStar. Most GM vehicles, maybe even yours, are now equipped with OnStar. The benefits of OnStar are immeasurable when it comes to saving your life and the lives of your loved ones, helping locate your vehicle in the event that you can't, and navigating you when you are lost. OnStar offers automatic crash response that sends emergency responders to your location even if you can't speak. Stolen vehicle assistance will locate your vehicle immediately in the unfortunate case in which someone mistakes your vehicle for theirs. Turn-by-turn navigation is available to take you anywhere you want to go with the push of one blue button. And you can always stay connected when you activate OnStar 4G LTE and Wi-Fi hotspot on select vehicles. OnStar keeps you informed on your vehicle diagnostics and can even diagnose a problem as you are driving down the road. Activate OnStar on your eligible 2011 model year or newer vehicle today and get 3 months free plus 3 years free of their basic plan. Stop in Trice Hughes Incorporated today for details or assistance on your OnStar activation. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. You already knew that Trice Hughes in Princeton has the #1 service department in Western Kentucky, but did you know that when it's time for a new set of tires, we have you covered for that also? Our tire experts, Jeff Brandon, Garrett Harper, and Kathy Capps, have a combined 84 years of experience, and they are ready to serve you on any make and model vehicle. You'll be surprised at our competitive pricing on name brands such as BF Goodrich, Michelin, Goodyear, Yokohama, Cooper, and Uniroyal. Trice Hughes is also the only tire dealer in town to offer the economy price Kenda brand tire. All tires are road force balanced, providing you with the most comfortable ride possible, and rotations are free as long as you own your tires. Call the tire experts at Trice Hughes today. Quotes are free and the deals are worth the call. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. So you're sitting at home, relaxing after a hard day at work. You would like to shop for a vehicle, but simply didn't have the time today. Well, thanks to modern technology and your friends at Trice Hughes, you can pick out the perfect vehicle, get an estimated trade-in value, and even submit a credit application from the comfort of your living room. Visit TriceHughes.com, and in just a few short minutes, you could be on your way to a new car, truck, or SUV. Trice Hughes Incorporated makes it simple to shop from the comfort of your own home. That's TriceHughes.com, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Sports Talk at 103.3 FM, The Tiger, with Gator and DT. We have now with us our next guest live here in the studio, the head football coach at Christian County Colonels, Coach Steve Lovelace. We also have Coach David Barnes, who's the head coach here at Caldwell County, and his son, Will Barnes, who we're awful glad to see come back home. And he's the offensive coordinator for the Tigers, and we're glad to have all you guys here today.
Thanks for having us.
Big game tonight, guys. And it's good that friends can sit down and talk about the game before it happens. And then when it's over, you're still friends and you can walk away.
See, he's trying to make up to you already.
I see this.
This is the fourth year, or is this the fifth year in a row that tonight's game will be 5 years in a row that we've played Christian County, which is, considerably larger school than Caldwell, but it's always draws a lot of attention being so close, and we're always glad to, have Christian County on the schedule as well as Hopkinsville and all these WKC schools around here. And it's good to see that the coaches have the rapport that they have with one another. Tonight's game, we're playing the number 2 team in the state Class 5A. I know you don't want to talk about that, Coach.
It don't hurt my feelings.
But-
It's not true, Pat.
Well, you're the only one from last year, and you have quite a bit of your starters returning from last season, and you gave Bowling Green probably the closest game that they had in the playoffs and regular season as well last season.
And again, we still came up short. We're home again second round. You're going back to your first question, your first statement about coming over to play Caldwell. We love it. I know for us, people think we're a 5A to a 3A school. There isn't like a win-win for us because we're a bigger school. We should win. What I like about coming over here is that our kids get to see what it is to have that whole community support. I mean, and I love coming over here to play. But, our kids don't get that at home. People talk about our stadium being so far out, but you'll come tonight and then you'll see that Friday night football, that's what it's all about, and that's why I enjoy David kept us on the schedule, and for our kids to have opportunity to come over and play. Plus, the travel wise, we don't worry about. Well, we might tonight with everything going on, but we need to get back to where we can play more people in our conference to help promote our own end of the state, and I think that's where we fell off since you left, Coach, and all that stuff that. We don't play everybody in our conference anymore. So, I'm glad David kept us on the schedule, and we're ranked number 2, David. That don't mean anything. We're not very good, so.
I've seen you on film.
I am too. So, but, it's just a nice, a nice thing to come over and play, and there's a lot of football people here that knows football, and so that's a good thing.
As an ex-coach, just to make your statement a little better here, just remember, if things start going south, if you want to stay on the schedule, it better not be too bad.
I think you know me better than that. I don't know what the score will be. We can't put that high score up on ourselves in practice on air. So I'm not worried about that.
I'm kidding. We're gonna play a good game anyway. I'll just tell you.
Oh, they are. I know. And David's pretty loaded too, so he's been over quiet.
Coach, tell us a little bit about your squad this year.
23 seniors.
23 seniors.
But all of them don't play. They're just on the roster. But no, I'm really happy with our guys right now. We had a long summer, and when we're tired of hitting on ourselves, and we had a good opportunity to scrimmage last Friday night against 2 teams out of Clarksville. Of course, everybody know about Corey Trice, my safety, that's verbal to Purdue. Everybody know about Kobe Lange, that's been a 4-year starter for me. But, we have a lot more of our kids that people don't know about. And that's what I'm excited about for Foster, my linebacker, Long, my receiver, Peyton Leneve, my defensive lineman. We got 2 seniors. I got 1 senior on the offensive line that started last year. I have another one that played backup role. I moved down level from outside linebacker to running back. There's a lot of kids that they don't get a lot of attention because of Corey and Kobe. And that's something I noticed this summer, that our kids have done a good job of coming out and playing hard and doing the right thing. Corey Stubbs, another kid that's a senior that plays corner for me. And probably, I'm going to be honest with you, my best player on the team is probably number 6, the Majors kid. If he was his
What
brother,
position does he play?
he's outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
When you see him, he don't look like a football player. Very, very sharp. He made a 27, 26 on the ACT. So, and he picks up everything we're doing, and he's real short and round, but and he makes plays. And, just kids like that is what I'm happy for. We got a lot of juniors and some sophomores that are playing. So we got 6 kids out tonight with ankles and knee injuries, so we'll see what happens.
Well, we remember 3 years ago, Kobe Lange was a freshman, and he kind of had his breakout game against us when Elijah Sindelar we were in a track meet, I think, over there. It was more like a basketball score. We defeated Christian by, what was it, 80-something to 59, 80. I mean, you saw more points that night than you probably some teams see in the season. And he had a breakout game. Of course, Elijah, his freshman year, had a breakout game against Callaway County, his very first game. So I know how good of a quarterback he is. What schools are recruiting Kobe?
They got one offer right now, and that's from Eastern. Austin Peay saw him again that night, and I think they're going to offer him now. And, he's supposed to go to their little scrimmage tomorrow. He got some looks within in Memphis from Lafayette. SIU looking at him. I mean, there's a lot of schools that are looking at him, but only one school offered him so far, which I think is a shame. But you know,
Well, it'll happen, you know, and the thing he needs to understand too is it doesn't matter where the school is or what size it is. If you can get that education on that paper, you need to go and play if you like playing and have a good time. But also, I was going to say a while ago, you're being in school your size, everybody thinks you should have the kids every year and this, that, and the other, which you have plenty, but you have to develop them because you lost quite a few last year that could play, you know. And so it makes a difference. We have to have them coming, but you still have to, like you said, you move quite a few of them around, which that's good to be able to do, you know.
We know, especially early in the season, the heat and humidity really takes a toll on the team. And, you know, with the team your size and the numbers that you have, how many players do you have going both ways? Can you?
Well, we got a total of 97 kids.
97 kids. That's got to be one of the biggest rosters.
Yeah, of course, we lost some. So I think we're down about, we're only traveling with 58 to 60 tonight. But we only have about 2 kids going both ways of that. Some of our defense kids going to play offense just as backup roles, and they're going to play like special teams. And some of our kids on offense will play defense only if we need them to. But, you know, that's one thing we found this summer that you know, we got all these kids, and I told our coach, I said, stop trying to move like Corey Trice from safety like to receiver. We got all these kids over here, so let's try to develop some of these young kids and see can they play or not. And these first 4 weeks to us is not, they're important games, but I always call it my preseason. These games don't mean anything but for our record. And people can talk about you regardless. I don't care if I win tonight, David win tonight. Somebody going to have something bad to say tomorrow morning about us. It really don't matter. So, and then, you know, and you know how that goes. But our most important season for us is going to be the district. All these, like the NFL does, become preseason games. You know, these are nice rivalry games we have to try to put that piece, trying to put that puzzle together. And once we can do that and build some depth, with the 6 kids we got sitting out tonight, we're going to see how that helped us this summer or not.
Well, that's just like our schedule. I mean, everybody says, oh, my God, we're going to be 0-3. Well, we were last year, weren't we? I mean, you know, as long as you continue to grow and make yourself a little better.
But see, I don't think people understand that when you play good people up front, we're playing college, everybody looks, well, that's a step down. It's not. David does a great job for coaching these guys. He got good players, always have. I mean, just handles it that way. It's about playing good people early to see what you're struggling on, and playing well-coached teams, they're going to exploit some things that you might not saw during the summertime. So, you know, we'll talk tomorrow or the night after the game, you know, what did you see from film? What do I need to change? Did I tip something off and stuff like that? And that's the good thing about it. You know, we're going to mean at 7 o'clock tonight, we're going to try to beat each other's brain out. But after it's over, we're done.
About 10 o'clock, you're going to be friends again.
Oh, yeah, always.
We've got Will Barnes in the studio with us, and Will, we want to welcome you back to Princeton and Caldwell County once again.
Thank you.
Give us your impressions of the scrimmage last Friday night offensively.
I thought we did some good things, especially early on. The biggest thing for us is getting in a rhythm, and you know, we went 10-10, and you know, really those first 20 plays, I thought we had pretty good rhythm. Spread it around a little bit and did some good things. So overall, I you know, pretty pleased with how things went.
I know that, you know, when this opportunity came about several weeks ago to come back home, you left a very good team there in Glasgow. I talked to your head coach just this week, and he's really missing you. And I know that you had a superb quarterback returning from what he said.
Yeah, it was tough. You know, there's a lot of good people in Glasgow. Built a lot of good relationships. I think Coach Royce back in Glasgow is actually watching right now on the computer. So I've made a lot of good relationships. People, you know, I talk to those guys at Glasgow, you know, about every week since I've left. But it was a great opportunity to come home, something I didn't think I could pass up on.
Yeah, Glasgow's always tough. Even when I coached
They-
in Warren East years ago, they were tough. I'm
You
telling
know, I kind of compare Glasgow a little bit to Caldwell County in terms of tradition. Of course, they've got 2 schools in their county, whereas we only have 1. But the majority of that city in Glasgow are, you know, big supporters of Glasgow Scotties, and they've turned out some really good teams over the years. But we're sure glad to have you back. And what's your game plan for tonight?
Well,
I'll
Yeah.
get right to the point.
anytime people talk about Christian County, people talk about their athletes, but the thing to me is they do have good athletes, but the thing is they're really well coached. You know, Coach Lovelace does a really good job defensively, and I think, you know, that takes them to another level, other than just, you know, they've got good athletes out there. So we're going to have to play a really good game. Hopefully we can get in a rhythm early. I think that's key, and getting first downs and taking care of the ball, you know, and go from there, and we'll see what happens.
I know one of the big question marks coming into this season offensively has been the play of the offensive line. And we were, of course, out there last Friday night, watched them, and it looks like they're coming around. They did a good job of giving Joby protection, and of course, they're only going to get better when they play a caliber of team like Christian County and Graves County and Hopkinsville. So, you know, they've only going to get better. So tell us, you know, your thoughts on that.
I think really that week of the scrimmage and even the week before, they really started to make some strides. Right when we got some pads on, you started to see it kind of click a little bit. We'll see tonight. You know, it's going to be a little bit different challenge than it was last week. But you know, we got to take care of them up there and make sure we're into things that they can handle, and put them in the best position to be successful.
You can work group work all day long, but till you really get into the meat
Right.
of it, it's just a different
It's a
ballgame.
little different on Friday
you know,
night,
You stand
for
over
sure.
there, and of course, Gator always worked with a lineman. I wasn't nowhere, but you know, you can say, okay, we're going this way or this way, but in the game, you know, you don't ask that guy across from you which way he's going.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's
You know, offensive line is a tough position to coach and prepare for a game, because you don't really get the looks in practice with the type of kids that you're going to be going up against.
Yeah,
and you can show them the film and show them how quick they are, but until they're actually in game situations, you know, they just have to adjust as it comes. It looks like we've got some good size up front. The left guard is, tell us, he's huge.
it's,
He's a junior.
Yeah, Ben Thompson's the left guard.
He's about,
really
what,
good
6'4"
kid.
or 5", and
Yeah, and asks questions, wants to be good. You know, he plays hard, tries to do the best he can, and all those guys have.
He's still really young, though, and
Yeah.
somebody told
Yeah.
me he was like just
I
turned
think he is a
16.
young junior, yeah. But all, you know, Luke Stallings, John Kelly, Justin Morgan, and Jaron Hartley. We've got some younger guys that have made some strides here in the last couple of weeks. Noah McGowan's is getting better, and
Well,
we're
if
getting
Noah Noah turns into what his daddy half of what his daddy was, he's gonna be a pretty good player. His daddy was about one of the best I've had up here. When you first moved here,
yeah.
old Junior, he was ready now.
and Dalton Haney, he's another freshman that has been working in there. That's done a good job.
And probably the strength of our offense is our skill personnel. Talk about them.
You know, the thing is they've played some, you know, obviously Trell and Jameer, being juniors, they've been around playing varsity for, this will be their 3rd year. So, you know, we need to rely on them, on their experience, and they are good playmakers. Oliver Parker and Travis Newsom got some good experience last year, and I think they've gotten a lot better. And running back wise, Dylan Gray is going to kind of step in there. That's something he hasn't done, but more than capable. And yeah, well, the skill guys they've progressed well, and like I said, they've got some more experience than some of the other people on offense.
Well, all I've heard, Will, from other people are how glad they are you came back. I'm serious. I mean, they were just bragging on how well you get along with the kids, and I said, well, heck, he is a kid. You know, but anyway, we appreciate you getting back to Princeton,
I'm
and I
glad to
think
be
you'll
back.
enjoy it here. I think the kids like you, and that means a lot. You know, they'll work hard for you.
Well, I appreciate it.
And I know the man sitting right next to you is really excited having you back, and of course your mom as well, and your granddad. You can't leave him out. He, you know, every day I see him at the fitness center, he gives me an update. He's watching you now. He's watching every move you make out there at practice. Talking about Bill Barnes, and you know, he's very loyal. He and Philip Phelps.
He's pushing Philip Phelps for the
I'm telling
Tiger
you,
of the Year.
They're out there every day at practice, and you know, very supportive, and we know how much football means here in the county. I got to bring up one more player that I want to mention on offense that may get to see some playing time in offense or defense, and he's a freshman. He's my next door neighbor, Tate Van Hoosier. Tell us about the progress Tate's making.
You know, there's probably a little bit of pressure on Tate just because Drake was a good player, and Hunter's been a good player, and I think he's going to fall right in line, just like they have. Works hard. He's a Van Hoosier, so I think he's going to be a good player for us. You know, he's done good on both sides of the ball, I think.
He'll play wherever you put him, won't he?
Yeah,
I mean,
he
that's-
will.
And I believe he's going to be bigger than the other two.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's a big kid, and of course, he's a Van Hoosier and a Hughes.
Yeah.
He's got both
Yeah.
sides in him, so I know they're excited. He's excited. I saw him last night, and he's excited about tonight's game. And once again, Will, we sure appreciate it.
Thank
Let's
you,
get to your
Fred.
dad here. Coach Barnes, what's it going to take for the Caldwell County Tigers to pull this off tonight?
We're going to have to come out ready. You know, we're playing a football team that's not only, like Will said, has a lot of athletes that are a very well coached football team on both sides of the ball. You know, going back to why we play Christian County and why we got back on the schedule, it's these type of games that get us ready for the playoffs. With the playoff system the way it's set up now, where we don't play a playoff game till week 5, week 6, these games are the games that gets us prepared for the district. And, you know, we've been able to win that thing the last 2 years in 3A. Part of that is because of playing people like Steve Lotus and seeing, because they will exploit some things tonight that we'll have to work on down the road to get better. And that's why we play him. And, you know, you talking about going against him at 7 o'clock. You know, Steve's probably he and Joe Moore's probably my best two friends in coaching football. Both of them are from Mayfield. How that happens, I don't know. But
I don't either. And you being from Caldwell County,
but that's just what
it's that
you know.
love-hate relationship, I guess.
I guess, but they are. That's honest to God truth. They are my best friends in coaching, and you know, we help each other out, and that's what coaching should be about. It's not just going out on Friday night trying to beat one another, but the relationship you build throughout those years, and we got a great relationship. But what's going to take tonight? We got to come out and play full 48 minutes of football, and you know, like Will said, take care of the football on offense, defensively, try to create turnovers. You know, we got to be able to make tackles in space. You know, if their kids get out in space, we got to be able to get them on the ground. And you know, that's one thing with those kids they got. You know, that they got really good athletes that can run in space. And you know, going back to the quarterback. You know, we watched him now. So I guess when Steve was playing us with Senator Lars, said, "When's he going to graduate?" Well, when's this kid going to graduate? To me, he's one of the most underrated players in this end of the state. I've seen that kid has developed and gotten better and better each and every year. And the thing with him, you know, when we were doing 7-on-7 stuff, he would talk to me and ask me questions. And but I've just seen that kid progress. He's a really good player. You know, 6'6" kid, can throw a little bit, can also run. Steve, hopefully Steve don't run him tonight. But it's going to take a great effort on our part to win that football game.
It's going to be a big challenge to your defense. But I feel like the strength of our football team can be our defense.
You know, that's where, you know, we got 8 guys back on the defensive side and all of our linebackers back. So that should be beneficial. But, you know, when you go out, you can't simulate and practice what Steve can put on the field, speed wise. So, we got to be able to adapt to that and make sure we take good angles to the football, do our job and gain tackle.
You said, it's good to play somebody like Steve, but it's a lot better to do that. I remember when we coached, most of the coaches we played against, we enjoyed. We'd mess with them after the game too. You really don't want to play somebody that you don't like, because then you have to push your kids to try to beat them real bad. I don't like that either, but I know what you're saying about the friendship.
Well, we know it's going to be an emotional game, on both sides. Anytime you open up your season, everybody's excited, and it's always good to get that first W under your belt, especially going through the summer and all the winter workouts you go through, spring practice now, and, the rewards start coming. And Coach Lovelace, I know that you're once again excited about the Christian County Colonels, and I know that you've got a longtime friend and mentor that is across town now, and I know it's going to take a little adjustment on your part. We're talking about Coach Craig Clayton, who you coached under for years, and of course you got a ways to go before you play them, but it's good to see Caldwell and Christian County playing. And of course, me being a former Christian County product and graduate, and I've been here, but Princeton and Caldwell County is home now.
Sure home.
But you don't forget where you come from. I never forget. I've got a lot of fond memories over there at Christian County, and I helped you a couple years, and
I'll take you back.
No, well, no.
It's ready. Come on.
I think I've had enough of it. I've had my time, but I had a good time doing it, and I know that you do a great job with your staff, and you got the kids excited, and it should be a good ball game tonight.
No doubt, from watching David on film, he talking about my athletes. I think Cole was a little bit more athletic than I am. When it comes to, with the Raleigh boys and the kid who wore number 9 in the scrimmage. I mean, I've been impressed, about watching them. And David's right. That's one of the biggest things we've been talking about Monday night or Tuesday night. I think our state got to do a better job of changing how they setting up practices. You go back to 2 years ago when it was an 80 to 58, whatever the game was. I never give up 80 points in my life. But, we have.
You probably haven't scored 58 many times.
I just think it goes back to the summer stuff that we have changed the rules so much for football, trying to accommodate the concussion rule, which that's a great thing. Nobody wants to see a kid hurt. But right now, you're not having enough time to work on tackling, and then kids tackle the wrong way, and I think that's leading to a lot more injuries than what it is. And if you go back to about 20 years ago when you two was doing your main prime coaching, everybody wore neck rolls in. So, the biggest thing was about neck injury. I think the helmets was heavier. I think technology, in football, it's
tell them who's got the best helmet.
Rydell does. Hands down. And shoulder pads, too. But, I just think right now, defense-wise, if you watch the scores the last 3 years and then you watch the first three weeks this year, watch how many points are going to be scored. And it's not because of the wide-open offenses. I don't think people are spending enough time on tackling it and then teaching it the right way, because we got so many different rules you got to follow. You got to do this and do that. And I think what we're doing, we're hurting our kids instead of helping them. So I just think it's something that our coaches committee got to get with Julian and try to change back. So, it's all about safety. Nobody wants to see a kid hurt, and I hope everybody come out tonight. I know there's supposed to be a real good crowd coming from Christian County.
I was going to ask you how the traffic is on Highway 91.
It was pretty empty this morning. So, and there's Big Daddy of them all.
Just who drove up? Will Brown.
Big Will.
Oh boy.
So, but no, the traffic was pretty good this morning. Just normal. I'm worried about this afternoon. Right now, we got to make a decision around 2 o'clock. Do we take 91 or not? Come on the highway to get here. So, Officer Tucker at our place will go out for us and just kind of tell us which way to go tonight when we leave about.
Glad that y'all having trouble, not us.
I appreciate that.
You may want to go down toward Crofton and hit Pennyrile Parkway, and then come Go on Penrod and then hit West Kentucky, and you'll come right out here by the school.
Yeah, they said we could go off of 24 and then cut through too. So
All you can worry about, it just depends on the score. I'm trying to tell you, if you just listen to me. If you have a big score, you better not go
You better
that road.
worry about getting home instead of getting there.
I ain't really getting home.
That's right.
There are, I think there are plenty of places to stay. Will Brown would put me up.
I know when Gator and I used to go to these places every now and then, if we looked up and beat somebody, they'd egg the buses and everything else, you know.
I remember a few of those nights.
I think it's Mayfield too.
And I think one night, Will Brown took a pretty good cussing from down at Fort Campbell for me.
He's sitting out here, you're gonna take one in a minute.
From the coach's wife, way back in '98. So you know, we want to encourage everyone to come out tonight. It's going to be a beautiful night
Yeah.
for football. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Get there early. If you hadn't gotten your season tickets yet, or go out and see Kim Farmer or Coach Barnes. I know Coach Barnes probably has turned those duties over to Kim. And get there early. There may be some tailgating going on down around the dressing area, and there always is. I know my buddy Ben Van Hoosier always sets up and has him some food down there. So we want everyone to come out and support the Tigers tonight. And coaches, best of luck to both of you, and we appreciate y'all coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any closing comments? Or?
They've done it all. Congratulations, do a great job tonight.
Well, we've taken up almost an hour. So we want to thank each and every one of you viewers and listeners out there for tuning in this morning. And tune in again next Friday morning at 8 a.m. for Sports Talk with Gator and DT on the Tiger 103.3 FM.
What does your service appointment at Trice Hughes do? Glad you asked. Here at Trice Hughes, we give a true 27